I love you. You know I love you very much. That's why I built you a dungeon and filled it full of monsters. Okay, so when we left off last night,
the fat bastard was stuffing his face with burgers.
That was not last night. That was only a few minutes ago.
Speaking of, here's your burgers.
Thank you.
No, food for the belly.
Yeah, so last night it was like, oh my god, there is this skeletal lizard thing pulling some other people, and like that thing that was listed by my head was somebody shooting an arrow.
No. In fact, there wasn't anything that was whistling past your
You
head.
said that there was one thing that whisked
But
past me.
But what you heard take off past you in the darkness was something that was making a clattering sound.
Okay.
So it was when something had gone by in the darkness, like I'll give it to you for free because like the way that you reposition like your lighting so you could see.
Yeah.
Like you would have seen like the tail end of like something going by in a hallway. See now the way that do you remember the way that you went in through the maze? So when you
went in, the original path was to the left.
So the marching order was you, Cricket, and then Jenna, and I'm going to assume that they're standing off to your left and right.
Okay.
So this is that time where we take those whiteboards out of hiding that I stacked so we can be able to give you an idea. Sweet baby.
Normally you have all this shit out and prepared.
Yeah, I do. We have it sitting right back there, so. Oh, that's right, I was fucking with Adby last night when he was sitting in the box.
Do we need just the one?
I can use just one.
Okay, good.
It's not the easy wall.
You didn't give me
But I didn't hand you the whole box like I usually do.
No, you didn't give me all of them.
Oh, I didn't hand you all your dice?
No, but there was a D6 that you didn't pull out. And then that one, you didn't get them. Thank you for trying.
Sorry. I hope I didn't steal any of your dice.
No, okay.
So. I'll move the remote and the fork because that fork is probably for my fat ass.
No, that was for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
For my dessert.
Okay, so. Hopefully we don't have cat interference.
We may want to move those over this way, away from the audience. Like, appearance, because,
So, we'll essentially call this the combination of those three figures. What did I use last time for you? The kitty cat?
Yes.
We'll use kitty cat for you again. Okay, so. Well, actually, I'm sorry, because this space, just so that you have an idea, this is not real representative to it because you'll notice that these hallways at the corners and stuff, this passage, what did I say it was? 15 feet is what you'll notice, okay? So then this is another, so that's the same dimension. So you kind of get an idea of the depth of it. So this space that's also in the middle is 15 as well.
Okay.
So it seems that's kind of the ratio number.
Okay.
It, you know, if you really want to be kooky about it, we could say, oh, it has to do something with the sacred geometry of necromancy. Whoa!
Okay, let's see if you look over.
Okay, so they went first. So their first action is that they are going to turn because they act as one unit right now. They will turn, or let's see, because yes, so you would see them coming from this direction. So they'll whiz back this direction, and they're able to move. Because I wanna do this properly, and I don't wanna fucking cheat you. So it's not based off of him. It is going to be based off of his. Let's see, it's going to be 10 squared. So back this direction. And what's your AC?
I think it's roughly at about 71 degrees.
Not the. Oh my god! I did not say the temperature. I love you, you weirdo.
Now, do I have anything like with the adding in the belt? That's a +2. That doesn't add.
No, that was to your strength.
Okay. So the AC is 20. What is that? Is that my modifier?
Yeah. So that's okay.
That's
so your
11.
AC is 20.
Okay.
And then, did you write down your armor?
HP? Armor? I don't know.
From the. You said that was a +8, wasn't it?
No. For the Ivy thing, it was a +4 to my AC.
So which makes your AC 24 right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whee!
Nice. Okay, so when they whiz by, you see Jenna take an arrow in her shoulder. It whizzes over your head and catches her in the shoulder, and you hear her cry out behind you. And then it is your turn. Do you only have melee weapons, or do you have a ranged weapon?
I have the arrows, but those are either sleep or the sleep and the memory loss stuff.
Okay.
And then I have the regular stuff, like the sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my attack for now.
Okay. Whee! Now for the fun part.
Cricket!
Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep.
Cricket sees his friend get hurt.
So.
Oh, wait. Cricket's behind me, isn't he?
Yes, but you have to remember that the space overhead is also 15 feet with like an arch.
So I'm gonna be up in the air above.
Well, when you.
Can I do that? Like be up in the air above them a little bit?
Okay, so you want to float up above your party members before anybody else takes an action?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many feet up do you go?
A foot above their head.
Okay, so Cricket is the tallest party member, with almost being like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
We said, I think it was.
I don't remember, but yeah, I want to be above his height.
Okay, so it puts you at like the 11, 12 range. Or did you want to go high? Oh, you go invisible?
I get above his head and I'm invisible. Because I don't want him behind me swinging and hit me.
So then that's your only action that you're taking?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, so from behind you, like you see, or rather from underneath you and behind you, let's see. And he can go. Oh wow, that's a nice base for you. So, let's see, that was 15. 15. Which makes 30. Nope, I'll use that same red dice. What happens, kids, when you don't do your math? It's all like, I got everything. Da 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 da. And there's always a flaw in the system. So, oh, did I not have a DM? Nice. So, what ends up happening is you see Cricket charge forward, and then he swings both his fists, and he connects with the chariot, and you hear it break. And then you can't see anything past his figure.
What about my like orby?
Oh, that's. Well, because you held your action, do you extend it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you extend it out, you see, and when the chariot falls apart, like one of them hops onto that lizard thing, and one of them has the bow and arrow in its hand, and you see the other has a spear, and it still has like that little bit of the chariot, and it turns as everything breaks off of it, and it kind of disappears out of sight for a little bit.
So the chariot is almost completely broken?
So the chariot's completely broken off.
So the guys are riding the lizard.
So one of them jumped onto the back of the lizard thing over the reins it had in its hand. And it has a spear in its hand now, and the other one's facing off with the bow and arrow against him.
Okay.
So, which leaves Jenna, who is underneath you, and also behind. Let's see, because she needs to make sure that she doesn't hit anybody. You hear her. What would be a good tactic to use? But it works. I gotta make sure that I help both of you guys. Not so much for fucking help. So. Oh, you know what? You hear her start chanting, and she waves her hand, and it is back to your turn. Or no, I'm sorry. It is two other creatures need to roll new initiative. Excuse me. Okay, so what ends up happening is you see the skeleton with the bow and arrow takes a shot at Cricket. Oh, good fucking lord. And Cricket takes. Boom, boom.
That hurts my head.
Sorry. Too bad. I'm sorry. Yes, we'll move that on the paper. Excuse me. So Cricket ends up taking an arrow to the chest, and you see him go, "Oh!" So you hear him cry out, and then you hear, let's see. So then it's your turn.
Alright. Bow and arrow.
Okay, so we'll say last turn. That's when you held your actions when you drew your bow and arrow. By the way.
Oh, so bad.
No, you're okay. That's why I'm gonna DM without the killing, like I said.
Okay. Random arrow number 5 that I pull. So you can decide which ability it has.
Okay.
Aiming it at the one that hit Cricket.
Okay, so you're gonna hit the one that is with the bow and arrow. So then I need you to roll a. Just roll for me.
What, like a D20?
D20, and then you add your base attack bonus.
Where's my bonus for that arrow? The bow.
That's based off your dexterity.
18 plus 8. I don't have another plus for that bow. I guess it's just the 18 plus 8.
Okay. 18 plus 8.
I think.
Okay. So the arrow does hit the skeleton, but what you notice is that the arrow clatters off of the skeleton's bones, so it doesn't go in. So that has been your action.
What?
There's a. Well, we'll get to the dynamics behind that, and you'll be like, oh, 8 times 4 is 1.
32.
Okay. Now, the number that I had in my head.
What, do you think 24?
I was thinking, like, it doesn't matter. Somehow my math isn't right. I was like, wait, let me ask. Okay, so you see when Cricket screams out, you see that he cries out this wordless scream, and something in his posture changes, and you see him charge forward at that skeleton that hit him with the arrow, and he is going to make his attack. Nice. So then that is What? Is I have it on here? Okay, so you see the skeleton fly apart when he smashes it with his fist, and he lets out another wordless scream, and it just obliterates the creature.
Mm-hmm.
And that is his action. Now, when you look around, you notice that Jenna has gone invisible. Okay, and you hear the sound of you hear the sound of her voice again, and she is still chanting. Okay, so yes, that's absolutely correct. Okay, so it is, you took your turn, you fired your arrow, he smashed apart the one. Okay, so it goes back to the top of the order. So the giant skeleton lizard with the skeleton riding him will make an attack against Cricket. Nice. So you see it rear up and it hits Cricket with its rear claws. And it deals some damage. I'm just going to take that little guy off of him because it's going to be impossible if I can keep on it. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a full attack, so it is. So you see the rear claws hit him, and you see the front claws also attack him, so that is a different dice. So Cricket takes a little bit more damage. And then before the creature is done, it will also take its beak and it will peck him as well. Ooh, tough luck, Cricket. What was that? Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not a peck, it's a bite. Okay, so it's your turn.
Okay. So the thing that was just trying to bite at him, I'm going to draw my sword.
Okay.
Have some chop!
Okay, so you're going to charge it. So what's your...
While I'm still invisible.
Okay, so your base speed.
16?
Okay.
Or no, speed is 20, fly is 16.
Okay, so when you're flying, you're able to go 60 feet. So 60 feet translates to 15 squares.
So I'm like here.
Okay.
So then that should be...
So then that would put you right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
is
know...
anybody close enough for me to...
What's your reach range? You're a 2-foot creature, so it should be about 2.5, 2 feet. So yes, you'll be able to make a... Are you wanting to attack the steed, or are you wanting to attack the rider? You said the lizard.
Whatever's closest, that's easiest for me to attack.
Well, because you're flying, you kind of have your choice. Like, I hate to, like, force your hand, but...
So... Which one looks like it's a bit more pain than the other?
Neither one.
Neither one? I'll go for the one that's physically attacking. Cricket, the skeletal thing.
Okay, so go
with
ahead.
With the sword of doom.
So go ahead. Okay, that's right. So when you touch the handle, you feel a voice inside your head that says hello.
Hello, darling.
And wait, when you hear it, or give me your roll.
16.
What's your base attack bonus, which is
That.
+3.
But is it different for the range? Or
For
no,
the
it's the
melee?
sword, yeah.
So you have it down as a 9.
Um,
So you get a +9 to that.
well, this is fine, short sword. Any shuffling stuff with it? No, there's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a 9. He's a, we never fully discussed that.
No, we
So,
didn't. So
with your 9 roll,
9. I rolled a 16.
excuse me, 16, plus that 9, and the mysterious bonus of the sword, which has not fully been attuned. Well, you know what? It's starting to be attuned to you, so during this adventure, you're going to learn some things about it.
So it's 25.
So, what ends up happening, when you go to hit him,
Mm-hmm.
you hear it go, oh, this is not going to be as tasty as usual. And you hear it clatter. And you remember how he usually does a D10?
I know.
So give me a D10 roll.
It's that one, right?
Yeah.
4.
So it's a 2 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, which is increased. So that is like only a 2. No, wait, it was a +2 for the belt, so it's a 3.
Yep. So which makes it a
7.
5. So
5, yeah.
so you do 5. Then the reason why it's 5 is because your basic roll is half, because against skeleton creatures, sharp objects don't do as much damage. Yep, that is the one thing that changes undead, to where it's like, I got a sharpened pointing. Okay, so
So what does it do?
it does half damage and it clatters off of it, so it leaves like a good furrow in the bones, but not like it would against a fleshy opponent. So that was
Invisible.
yes, you're still invisible. So you get 1 attack per round. So what you end up hearing, let's see, what was a good spell that I was trying to figure on doing, is I'm still gonna cast it. Okay, so you hear the chant go off, and when you're looking at Cricket out of the corner of your eye, you see his skin color change.
Okay.
And his skin color now has like a grayish color to it. And then it is his turn. Or no, excuse me. It is the writer's turn, because the beast made its full attack and he held his last turn.
Where is the other spell?
So the creature goes to swing a pole arm at Cricket, and it misses. And then it is your turn.
Sword is still in hand. Should I put the sheath back on it? And smack him that way?
That's up to you.
No, I tried to think this to the sword, so that's what I'm holding him.
He goes, Cut your hand with me.
Alright. Like, alright, fine, like this.
Okay, so when you cut your hand with him, and you kind of have probably like a quick way to put your bow away.
Mm.
So when you
I didn't have the bow out.
Yeah.
I had him out still.
Yeah, so that's right, excuse me. That's right, you transition between two weapons there. So when you cut your hand with him, he goes, now think of something hard to hit it with. So like when you're thinking, like he starts taking on like this weird shillelagh shape with a sword handle.
I'm thinking like a mace, like sort of. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
you're still getting attuned to it. So it's kind of like a club.
Okay.
So like when you go to like swing it on because like you get a free action against yourself basically there, and you swing it down on him, like it does bludgeoning damage this time. Like that same instead of a D10, it does a D8 this time. And then your strength modifier has increased. So I need to get back over to where your character sheet is here. And since we don't hear any thunder or anything, I need to plug the laptop back.
7 plus the 3. Do I take any negs?
There's no reason why you would.
7 plus 3.
Which makes it 10.
And any modifiers for the weapon itself?
And then the mystery modifiers. So the 10 that you would do, like it increases to another amount. So when you go to hit it, it hits it pretty hard. And you notice the beast like stumble back for a second. And then like the rider like looks around to see what hit the creature that it's riding on.
Okay.
And then let's see. It swung at Cricket, it missed. You took your action. And then it is Cricket's turn. So Cricket is still stuck in that. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that on that. So Cricket goes to swing at the. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Whee! I'm forgetting your insane NPC full stats there. So no, that hits. So he also does damage to it. Let me see. Excellent. Okay. So that was your turn. That was his turn.
Did he kill the beast?
No. But unfortunately, with the way that 3.0 and 3.5 is, because I hear you asking questions that, usually in 5th edition games, you hear the DM say, oh, like they look like they're bloodied or whatever. There's really not a way to be able to tell, especially with them being undead creatures. However, let's see. She does not know how damaged they are either. So the best thing for her to do is to go ahead and use that spell. I'm looking at dice. So, from behind you in the invisibleness, you hear the sound of the chanting stop, and you see a fiery projectile fire off and hit the giant skeleton creature, blowing it apart.
The skeleton creature?
The one that was the giant lizard.
Okay.
And, in addition, you notice that the skeleton riding on its back also takes damage as well.
So there's another one?
So the one that was riding on its back, remember, with the pole arm? So like you see it thrown onto the floor as like the other skeleton like basically drops away.
But I thought you said the extra one, like there was just the
Yeah.
one that the one was riding on, and
Yeah.
then the one that was on his
Okay.
back was left.
There was there was this guy, which was the one that fired the bow.
Which is already dead.
This was the guy that was riding on his back.
Yeah.
This was the one that was making the attacks that you had attacked against.
Okay.
So with the creature gone, it's thrown onto the ground,
Okay.
and these guys are basically broken down into skeleton parts.
Okay. So it's the one?
It has not broken apart, but
If it is not broken apart, then it's not gone.
okay, so then you would like to make a roll for it then, partner.
Me?
Yep.
You want to know what I'm going to do?
So what are you gonna do?
I want to come charging down full speed, feet first on his face!
Okay.
You know, like Stomp of Doom!
Okay, so like you don't get a weapons bonus to that, but okay. So we'll call it a D4. So roll your D20.
Oh.
We'll be nice and say, well, he's prone, so that affects his position as well. We'll say you do a D8 if you're flying down at full speed.
Oh, yeah. And then D8. Oh. 8! Yay!
So 8.
Stomp your face!
So yes, indeed, like the skeleton like flies apart.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
So now you're just
In
stomping
full
it.
view, stomping to pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
So on to your wounded party member.
Which one? My cleric or mistress?
So you hear Cricket go, "I don't feel so good," and like you see him like sit on the ground. In fact, he lays on the ground.
Uh-oh.
And he goes, "Oh, oh." He goes, "Oh, that's right." And you hear him smack his hand against something, and you see lightning go off. And he keeps doing it.
So he's killing himself more.
Yes. As far as you remember, that's what you were told he
Yeah.
heals himself by doing.
Yeah. I look over to mistress. Or Miss, what do you call it?
So he gets back up, but he seems like he's not 100%. And he goes, "Oh." He goes, "Well, where'd she go?" And she comes back visible. And she doesn't seem like she's as wounded as like the arrow and stuff. Like you know, she took an arrow, but it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that being combat over, we'll go back into the next horrible phase of things. So, with the combat and everything that happened,
Mm-hmm.
guess what?
My hand's still bleeding.
Nope. So, in the room that you're in, you hear a noise, and then you see a flash of light. Give me a roll.
House of Pain!
Actually, no.
No D20?
Yeah, just give me the d20 roll, and then add your reflex modifier.
So my reflex modifier is 13, and then rolled a natural 20.
Nice. So,
32? No, 33.
so for 33, what's your normal flight speed? 60. So you feel a little less energetic flying than you did a few seconds ago. And it's kind of one of those, and you feel like something like magical is holding your wings back.
I'm going to go down and start walking.
Okay. What's your walking speed? Okay, which isn't bad. It's not like it's a penalty or anything. I'm just asking because like it also affects like a few other things. Okay, so one of the other things that you notice from where Cricket is laying on the ground and he thumped his fist against it, all of a sudden like you see another light go off. Oh, sorry, I should have done that on paper. He goes, oof. And you notice from where he was thumping his fist against the floor, there was something else, like a little niche in the floor as well. So it seems like he has set off something.
You set off a trap
as well, and he goes, I don't know. He goes, I'm not as nifty with traps as you. He goes, but I can find the non-magic kind. He goes, I may have. He goes, what do you do?
Oh.
So nice. I had to write a thingamajig, but it disappeared. I must have eaten it with the sandwich. No, I got a different one. Okay, so very interesting. So you don't see any other lights or anything that go off at all.
That's what one did.
So after that one, after the one that Cricket set off. So
Where's the other party member?
Mistress Jenna is in the hallway behind you all, and she is invisible. And she goes, I don't think I should move, should I? She looks at you, since she's seen you like check for magical traps before.
Everything here is okay right now, except like.
Give me a d20.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Okay.
Except it just felt heavier in here.
Okay. So, with that thought in mind.
13.
Okay.
So I get to add my character to look to see if I can heal.
Yes.
13 plus 19.
13 plus 19. So. Nice. I like the numbers. I like it to fix the numbers always. She have a nice numbers. You know what I mean?
This is what I was very good.
Oh, I like to talk to you like it that way. Anyways, other than my extremely bad impressions. So yes, you do notice that there are other glyphs in the area where she's at. And it is not it's a few feet from her, and you could make the disarm attempt,
Okay.
because you are a nifty dippy rogue.
Alright. Roguish skills disarm.
So it's disable device and then your d20 check.
Yeah. lost track of where you're heading with that. So 7 plus 16,
7 plus 16.
23.
25. Blah, 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 blah. I love the fact that I write this down. 25 plus a spell level.
Do I have any bonuses with the
26. So because you beat the disarm of 20, well, to find it, it was a 26, which you beat, and then your disabled check, which was what, 32 again. So which you rolled high enough to be able to do the disarm, because as long as it was 20, if you beat a 26, basically.
Is that with points for the toolkit? Because I wasn't thinking about the toolkit. Because I had a 16 plus 7, which was 23.
Okay, so you.
I can't remember if there was anything else.
You can be able to sacrifice another one of those spells because, yes, you have started that check in this round, and that's the way the device works. So you would sacrifice one of your once per day spells in order to gain that, what was it, a plus. I gave you that magic number in your notebook, I think. I think it was like a arcane tools is what it was called, arcane thieves.
It was a plus 2 to disable device, plus 2 to open lock, and for the spell, like it was a plus 5, so it would be a plus 7.
Yes.
That's what I already had.
So, which means that yes, you would beat it.
Okay.
Okay, so when you disable the device, you notice that this little niche that's on the floor goes from being red to not having any color in it at all.
Okay.
And it cracks like the same way that you know it does when it disarms.
Okay.
Okay, so that's another trap that you've done. So at this point, that's what the hallways are laid out like. You haven't progressed any further. So which way would you like to go, left or right?
Well, considering where we're at, where my cat is over there,
Mm-hmm.
we could either continue going down or continue to the side.
Yes. So which way would you like to proceed? Since they've kind of elected you as party leader and she draws closer to you, letting you.
So we're going to continue going that way.
Okay, so you continue on to going to the left.
Well, because that's the way the other guys looked like they were running and moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going that way.
Excellent. Okay, so you will progress down another hallway, and after these initial effects and traps,
Do I find any more?
so at this point, I'll take over your roles as your GM to add to a little excitement, because it never, it always adds to spice it up. So I like that number. I like your numbers, Pixie. Okay. So a few minutes down the straightaway hallway, you notice that it's going to take we'll say it's like a 40 to 50 degree turn, like it's a 40 or 30 degree turn off in the left-hand direction. And when you go down this hallway, you notice another one, and you notice that this one is brown, and you, again, disarm it without any prop. Like, you notice it, and what would you like to do before, like, draw back what I said about disarming it. Would you like to disarm it, or what would you like to do?
Oh, go ahead.
Now, one other option that you have as being a rogue is that you can completely avoid the trap, and also point that out to the party. That's a rule that I want to make available to you.
Okay, yeah.
It's always an option. Some of those dice rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing where it's at, you.
Don't do that. Get away from the spot.
Okay. So you guide your party past this. Now, once you come out of this bend, you notice that there is a turn to the left or the right.
Let's go to the right.
Okay, excellent. So when you go into the right, you notice that there is gear for chariots, and like there's rusted weaponry, and none of it really seems usable. But it seems like this may have been the staging area that that creature and the riders, and perhaps if there are any other undead creatures in this area, maybe perhaps this is an armory for them.
Okay.
But on the other side of the room, you see a tunnel, and then it takes a sharp turn going off to the left, and you can't see around the bend.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So.
I can one book or over that way.
What was that spell? Wasn't it Dancing Lights?
Right. So that you said last what?
Oh, we went into Dancing Lights.
You said it's for so many hours per level. Was it?
Let's see here. We'll get you the exact roll. I think it's done by round, but with it being
round.
Well, we'll find out here in a second, won't we? Dancing Lights. So yes. So basically, the duration was 1 minute.
Oh.
How many times per day can you do that? Once? Or is it?
I thought you said that was a natural ability.
Yeah, that's one of your natural abilities. How many times a day can you do that?
Confusion is once a day. I don't know, Dancing Lights might be once a day, the way it looks like on here.
Okay. So we're gonna say like about this time that the effect starts to glimmer out. Now, let's see. In order to help out, Mistress Jenna will go, oh, I have something in my bag that will help. So she pulls out something that looks like what in our world would look like a flare, but it's like a wooden stick. And on one end of it, she strikes it against the wall, and it lights up as a torch.
Okay.
And she goes, would you like to carry the glow stick, or do you want me to?
I'll take it if you want, because I'm kind of out of it.
Okay, so that we can be able to give you a better idea of the lighting condition now that you have a sun rod, aka also known as a glow rod. There's a couple other nicknames for it as well. Yeah, exactly.
I go dancing with the glow stick.
So when you dance around with it, it leaves little trails of smoke. Oh, is there seriously not a motherfucking description? Oh, excuse my language. That's horrible. Well, that's kind of crappy. I thought it would be in there. Dear Wizard to the Coast, you fucked up when you printed some of the books. Just a sense of vision. So, there we go, 30 feet. So, for the next 30, so surrounding you, 15 feet in the front, like in a 30-foot radius basically surrounding you, there is a light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so At this point, you said you're going to take that bend to the left.
Mhm.
So when you take the bend to the left, I don't like that because the mouse is in the way and I don't feel like I'm shooting you. So, once again, you discover another mark on the ground.
Mhm. Go around it. Go around it.
So you're going to go around it. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now let's see. At this point, once you pass that mark, you notice that there is another bend.
Mhm. Sorry, I looked at this while we were doing that.
No, you're fine. So, while you are doing that, you are looking around and you're not sure what distracts you for a second, but your hand brushes up against something and a greenish light goes off.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
So, nothing happened.
Okay.
Interesting. So you seem to have dodged out of the effect very quickly. So there's another bend. So it went left, right, left, and then there's another bend to the right as well.
Alright.
So again, you see where there's another dimple into the ground.
Good job.
Okay, so you guide the party around it. Then the next beat, you notice there is the sound of shuffling feet in the corridors near you.
Okay.
So there's a straightaway that goes straight ahead,
Mhm.
and you notice that a few feet up ahead, we'll say it's another 15 feet. We'll say that the passage from where you turned into this hallway is 30 feet.
Mhm.
So 30 feet ahead is a bend to the left, and then going straight into the hallway ahead. Now, in the distance, you see a set of red eyes.
I look back at, is it Mr. Steady?
Mistress Jenna?
Jenna? I look back at her and look over to the eyes. Like, you know anything about this?
She goes, she goes, it could be one of the minions that he's controlling. Maybe we should get a little closer, maybe?
Alright.
So,
Let's go.
out of the darkness, you see that pair of red eyes approaching you very fast. Give me a d20 roll. In fact, everybody needs to make one. I need an extra one. I'll use a blue one for Mistress.
19.
Nice. Like I say, I always like your numbers. Nice numbers. Did I just lose a pen again?
Probably to the couch reason.
The couch ate it or something. Oh, it's right here. You said you had a 19?
Yeah.
That's that nice dexterity bonus he has. You don't need that page anymore. He is out of range. And your buddy gets a... So, you're visible at this point, correct? So, charging out of the dark, and you said you're walking, right?
Yeah.
So charging out of the dark and it runs past you is this withered creature that looks like it may have been a human at some point, but it's well past being a human now. Now it just seems like it's some kind of withered up creature, and it has like a sucked in pair of eyes that glow in the dark. And it slams into Cricket. I know everything makes the mistake of attacking.
Cricket, grapple.
Everything makes the mistake of attacking Cricket, and they don't realize what happens when you attack Cricket, do they? So that's nice. So what ends up happening is it charges into Cricket, and it is not enough to move Cricket, nor is it enough to like kind of do anything to him. It strikes him, but it seems to fail at whatever it was attempting to do and doesn't do any damage based on his size and his failed roll. So, rolling over, let's see. It is your turn.
Okay. So you just have
that was his freebie out of the darkness.
this funky guy. And anything else near us, or is that the only thing that was?
So, in the long corridor that you are in, if you look out of the 30 feet of light, so it's like... You know what? It's fresh enough to where I shouldn't need that. Yeah, it's not fresh. It's fresh enough to where I don't need that. So resetting the board so that you can kind of see and understand where you're at is we said that it was the bend you guys came out of and then straight away into the hallway, okay? And we said 30 feet up ahead was another bend and then it continues on. So when So, what you can notice is that, as you have the torch, is that you can basically realize that you can't see any other pairs of red eyes. So, I mean, like the combatant that you see right now is kind of like center of attention.
We have that torch in there.
Okay.
And whirl around and like wail on him with it.
So you're going to strike him with the torch?
Yeah.
So give me a d20 roll. I would be an asshole and use the improvised weapons rule from Ravenloft, but I don't feel like rolling that way.
The 18 plus
Your base attack or your base attack bonus is what?
3.
So,
Surprise attack from behind, and then wheel about and go flat. Does that even count?
You're trying to do a sneak attack?
Well, I mean, he's right there behind me, like up against Cricket.
So a sneak
I mean,
attack,
I would think that it could maybe kind of qualify.
because you're bearing a light,
well, yeah,
and you're right off
never
to,
mind.
yeah, it wouldn't really be a sneak attack, but you could,
I mean, couldn't I catch him kind of by surprise if coming from behind?
like, give me I'll let you attack that way, but the kind of creature that it is, isn't going to allow you to do sneak attack.
Okay, whatever.
So it would just be a basic attack, but
Okay.
realize that you also have cutter, or excuse me, not cutter, but razor. who's now a club. So he would probably be better because you notice like the sun is,
Okay.
like I said, like the size of like an oversized.
Alright, I'll use him.
Okay.
Smashy, smashy.
Okay, so you made your attack roll, and then we said he does a D10 right now. Okay, so roll your D10.
6.
And then your strength modifier now with that belt.
3, so that's 9. Plus whatever nifty.
So he adds +3 to there's +3 to bashing damage.
So 9, 12, 12.
So when you did 12 points of damage, nice. I like that. So okay, so that's a pretty good attack. So what ends up happening is when you smash Razor into him as a club, Razor does a good amount of damage to him. You can tell because like it kind of stumbles back when you attack him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was your turn. Then it is Mr. Cricket's turn.
He's gonna crush his head.
Actually, based on Cricket's strength and everything, he could. In fact, that is a good idea.
I mean, it's right there in front of him. He'd just be like, "Grr!"
In fact, he wouldn't have to use 2 hands. He could use 1 hand to do it. So since you proposed that idea, I like that. So it'd be like, was it her answering you back? Oh, there we go. Who's a happy girl? Who's a happy, bloodthirsty little savage? Who's a bloodthirsty savage? I'm a good kid. So, okay, yeah. So based on his grapple check and his strength and how much HP the enemy has, he does indeed crush his skull like a fucking grape with 1 hand.
Yes! Good job. Cricket.
So,
You okay there, bud?
he looks at you and goes, yeah. He goes, everything keeps attacking me because I'm the biggest. He goes, it's a good thing I came along.
We appreciate you.
Because I appreciate you too.
Alright, shall we continue?
Yes.
Jenny, you okay back there?
She goes, yes, I'm okay. You said your attack bonus is what?
The AC?
No, your base attack bonus.
Base attack? Not counting any bonuses for like with my. I think my armor could be a bonus.
They added a bonus to your AC. So what
Like
I have.
I'm not adding that in when I'm doing that. Yeah, I keep forgetting to add that in, so that really means it should be instead of a.
So wait a second. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Or no, I'm
here.
thinking AC.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Wait a second. I have +9 on here, but you've also had 2 levels of rogue. Now I know that's with one +1
I'm not
level of
thinking
rogue.
about that. Like I'm. Like,
So let's clear this out of the way. Let's do this once and for all.
we're gonna need to reprint this then.
That's fine. We can be able to reprint it because I'm sitting here talking to you about it. So okay.
For the attack.
So now that we're out of combat, okay. So your attack bonus from being a rogue would be a 1. So it really hasn't changed over from being that +9 that's on your sheet. Okay.
What +9? For
Okay.
attack? As far as I remember, my attack was a +3.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at your melee.
Okay.
So then your melee is not a 9 now. That would make it a 10.
Okay. So that's the base melee?
So your base attack bonus is 3. So when you go to do a melee attack, it's your base attack bonus plus your strength bonus.
Okay. So then what is the...
So
like, I don't get why you have attack +3 and then base melee or comma +9.
I think that it's the way that it came out when it fucking originally got printed up. Excuse my language again. So there's a lot of things on here that need to be transferred over into like a normal character sheet for you. I think that would be the better way to go from now that we have an idea of your character.
So if my melee is supposed to be the strength modifier plus base attack plus
So
the
I
rogue,
wonder why that got that in there then.
because
Okay,
if you do
okay.
that, then the base attack is 3, rogue is 1, and then the strength was 1.
Okay,
but with
okay,
the belt it
stop. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you. It's like you're remember how last night you said I was giving you a headache? Like you're gonna give me a headache. Okay, so your base attack bonus is a 3. Then for being a small creature, you get a +1 to ranged weapons. So it stays at a 3. So when you go to use the sword now, I don't know how the fuck this got as being a fucking 9. That was fucking ridiculous. I don't know where E-Tools have gotten that from. 3. So with your belt, your strength is out of 15. Makes your bonus attack bonus melee. So when you go to do a melee attack, it's +5. When you go to a ranged attack, is indeed a 12. So that is correct on there.
So how does melee go?
Okay, so your melee is going to be your base attack bonus, which is a 3.
Right.
And then you add your
You said
strength
the 1
modifier.
for the rogue.
That's already included in the base 3.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Alright. So then, with the strength, with the belt, does that make it like a 2 instead of a +1?
What was your original strength score?
13.
So now that it's a 15, your modifier is a +2.
Okay.
So that's where when you roll a d20 to make a melee attack, you add the 5. And that's with the 3 included.
Okay.
When you go to make the ranged, that's where the +12 comes in. Because that's your base attack bonus, your dexterity, and your +1 size modifier. I hope I'm not making your head hurt or mansplaining this by doing this, but
It does, but we'll get this all resented, so what are we doing now?
well, I'm chewing a mouthful of cheeseburger.
With black sauce.
Mm-hmm. So, straight or to the left up ahead?
There was we went straight, we'd go across that huge open area into that other cave thing.
So if you go straight, you do indeed pass the turn to the left. And it descends on down into the hallway. I don't see where you're getting cave from.
See what it said when we first went into this area. That it kind of opened up into a bigger area.
Mm-hmm.
And then that there's another passage further on after this open space. So that's why I was getting kind of cave sort of thing.
And the open space, which was the armory, was back around all those bins. So like this area has been a 15 by 15 foot hallway that's been stretched out as you see drawn.
Okay, that's not the way it was said a moment ago. That's why I'm trying to clarify here.
Okay.
So, whatever. I guess we'll go straight.
So like what I was talking about was out of the darkness. Like you saw him charge.
But you also said it also when it was light around it looked like there was another tunnel, another area.
Which was the passage off to which was described on the left hand side.
So that's why I'm trying to clarify.
That's
Okay.
why I drew it out like you see on the board. I'm sorry.
After that, but okay.
But this is the current situation that we're looking at.
You're gonna go straight.
Okay. So you bypass that. Okay. So, are you ready for the next one?
Sure.
Okay. So, when you're going through the hallway straight ahead, you get the sense that you may have missed something when you were looking around, and you notice something that's green that goes off, but you don't see any, you don't feel like anything like you did when your wings slowed down or anything. Okay. So it's not anything like that at all.
Check back. The party members. They looking okay?
They look okay. Now the space ahead, it's another 30 feet, and you've already noticed the dimple in the ground that you set off. And then there is a turn that indeed it goes off to what would be your right-hand side. Or excuse me, why did I have that drawn? That's a right-hand turn, not a left. Why did I say it was a left? It's drawn on the board to a right. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, so.
Your drawing on the board is confusing. I'm not even listening to it anymore.
But it's accurate.
Stop talking. Let's just get back to where we were at.
It's accurate.
Stop.
The giraffe then takes your shoe and eats it. I'm kidding. Okay, so you ended up going straight. It doesn't matter. So, as we discussed,
Can we have your drawing from over there, over here? That way we can be like, we are walking along here and we are there.
very glad I got it possible for you.
Well, you know, it would make it easier to conceptualize what you're talking about. You don't want me to see your thing with Bobby.
No, I don't want you to see my full penis.
Oh, you wish.
Okay, so. Yes, Pixie, here's your drawing. There, you happy?
So where are we at?
So you're right here, and you have this turn going that way.
So right here?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go that way.
So when you come in, this was the area that you mistake as being the cavernous area, which was described as opening up, that had the armory in it, and then you took the turns, and then you walked this way, going past this turn passage, which, you know, once you come around this turn, you notice that it does indeed lead that way.
Okay.
And you do see that there is an alcove back that way, as you see in the picture. There's also a progression that goes this way as well.
So we'll be like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when you hit that effect, it was right here.
Uh-huh.
So which means you can be able to look down the hallway, going that direction, which would be
To the right.
to the right. So you do indeed notice from where you can see that creature's body from the diagonals and stuff. If you were to take a few extra steps,
No. No.
There's nothing in.
Nothing to worry about.
You're not going to take that step back.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay. So then your next path goes this way,
Yeah,
and it's the L.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So then we'll make your next D20 roll for your spot check for traps, which I will do, being the hidden DM and adding excitement to your life. So from 31, you notice that there is indeed something that is right here, and it's not colored like the others.
Okay.
So you point that out to the party members, obviously.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the avoidance thing again?
Yes.
Okay. So
Do we see any skulls in the walls, whether they
you
are
don't
intact
see any
or
skulls
crushed?
in the wall that are crushed or anything, but when you come around the next bend, they'll put you into here. There are no traps or anything.
Okay.
Nor is there for the next few feet that you continue on.
Mm-hmm.
You all of a sudden reach a room that is filled with clutter.
Where's the clutter? Okay.
When you step inside, oh, I like that roll. So once your party members and you step inside, an armed portcullis slams shut behind the three of you, trapping you in this room full of clutter.
Like,
So in the room of clutter, what do you do since you're the party leader?
looking at what all this clutter is, like try to identify stuff.
So this clutter could basically best be described as bits of bone. Like there's maybe what you could probably be considered like a collection of, if you were to piece it together, it'd probably be a good probably like 10, 11 people. But there's also like bits of skin and like decayed muscle tissue and stuff laying across the floor as
I
well.
look back to the other two.
Okay, so while you're looking back to the other two, I got pieces out of order, but that's the way we like it. So you see this tiny little creature pick itself up out of what appears to be a pile of that just ickiness. And it's a collection of teeth and like a little bit of hair, like some skin, and like a couple of fingers. And at first you see one, and you see that there's a few more. And all of a sudden you hear this strange sound that sounds like the flapping bird wings in the room as well on top of it. So you find yourself, oh, I'm sorry, that's on page 1 of all of my nonsense, which is, yes, back here. Okay, so the one other thing that you notice is you hear the sound of a little girl giggle. And you remember that little
forest?
Yes, but this one looks completely different, and she's missing half her face, and she looks like she's seen better days.
Cricket, do you see any birds or flying things above us?
So when you look around, you notice that in this room of shit, basically, you notice that there's an actual door over there. And it has a big ass impression for some kind of something to be inserted into it. So yes, when you look around, or is this slant shut behind you all? I'm just gonna say that you guys took a few steps into the room. You didn't progress all the way. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look around, you see that there are an alien that's all fucking sad. Okay, yeah, here we go. So you notice that when you look up, that from the corners of the room and the shit fest that's in here, that there are these little creatures that look like birds made of skin. They're little flaps of skin just fly in the breeze. And that little thing that looks like it's made out of toenails and stuff. One over there, and there's one over there. And then the little girl, I'm gonna use this creepy right as her. She pulls herself up. We'll say that there. Looks like a chest or some kind of decayed wooden structure. So some of it's just, there's piles. Just to give you an idea. So that's the situation that you're looking at. You okay, sweetheart? You want to keep going, or you want to pause? Okay. So, have I given you enough combat for the evening? Alright. So, we'll do this as, if you want to roll your d20. We'll roll it in.
17.
So it's a 17 for you. And your party members, that's a 14 for them and their party members. So we'll do it that way. So then you add. So you're 17 and you're.
My roll was 17.
Okay. You have improved initiative, don't you? Your initiative's plus 12. Nice. Okay, so as always, you lead off the top of the attack.
Okay.
What would you like to attack first?
Hostess. Mumbo jumbo number 5.
So are you going to take a flying opponent or a ground opponent?
Well, I think the closest and a flying.
Okay, so you'll take to the air, and will that be opponent in front, to the back, to the left, or back to the right?
How about that one?
Okay, so that's back on to the looking good black. So then, give me a d20 roll. Anything over a 15 does excellent. You still have Razor in your hand, correct?
Yes, we can look at
So, Razor will, since you gave him the blood to be able to do it, he switches back to a sword.
Oh.
When you swing, I'll go ahead and roll for you, babe, so that you don't have to worry. So that's 12. No, you're good. Don't even worry about it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So at a 17, the sword slices through this flying piece of skin. So then he does a D10. That's right. That was the correct information that I gave you about Razor last time. No, I have one.
I'm sorry. It's not good.
No, you're fine. So, you cut this creature very deeply, and you notice it almost dropped to the ground. Next person up is Cricket. He will charge forward, and he will slam into that little creature that was made out of the monogamy of like body parts, basically.
Can see mobile.
Hey, Bill again.
Their website thing and shit is just jacked up, and it's not letting me in because it doesn't need to change my password. And when I go to do it, it's
You faced that last time.
No, I called them to fix it. They said that they were going to open a ticket and have somebody call me back, and I never got the follow-up call.
So he smashes that creature.
Did I kill this one?
You wounded him very seriously. I'll tell you that much, because you nearly sliced that motherfucker in half. Because out of it having 14 hit points, you did 10 hit points worth of damage.
Okay.
So you did a good damage to him.
Okay.
If he was a living creature, he'd have to make a fortitude save, but undead creatures are else.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give you a good spell to clear the room from Jenna, since it's her turn.
What?
I said, let's give you a good spell to clear the room since it's Jenna's turn. Make use of her being a wizard.
Well, yeah, I mean, she hasn't done a whole lot. Here and there. Or so it seems.
Yeah, a lot of wizards and stuff, that's one of the things where it's like you can do a good amount of attacks, but... So yes, here we go. So she will begin to chant, and that spell will go off in the next turn. So the little creatures will start taking on. Oof,
Those are the flying ones.
oof. Yes, they'll start swooping in on him.
Oh, is the one thing near me because it's team?
You're standing between him and it and any escape path. So if it was to go by you or try to make an attempt to go past, it would suffer a penalty. So yeah, like a lot of opponents and stuff, like it's either gonna fly towards the slay mate, which is the little girl thing, or to try and get between you and Jenna. And it doesn't really have any very good options there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, they will swoop him, and they will not do what they are seeking to do, because quite seriously, they just don't have the oomph for it. Well, oh, I'm sorry, that's right, he is affected by something. So, they slam into him. Oh, that's not going to affect him, but however, this will. So they latch on to Cricket, and they begin biting him, and you hear him yell out. He goes, "Stop biting me!"
Can I do a free action?
And then he yells
Like,
out.
yell at him?
He yells out again, real deeper, and you see him lose himself again. And he goes, "Don't bite me!"
Can I do a free action yell at him something?
Yeah.
Electrocute yourself!
Jenna yells out, He can't think.
Oh.
He can only do it to heal once he's able to regain his consciousness."
Oh.
She goes, "Don't worry." She goes, "I have something for it." And then you hear something go off, and all of a sudden you see this giant orb of electricity fly through the air. And you're thinking about how she doesn't really do anything. Oh, wow, really? That lets me do that at that level? Oh, I like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, is that the right dice?
No!
No, that is the right dice. Two, 4, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 points of damage to all the targets in the area.
Oh, that
And then for every 3 points of that, he gains back 1 hit point. So 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. So we'll call that 6 points of health. Is that right?
21 divided by 37.
So then we'll call it 8 points of health back then. Okay, so with that being said, they have taken a good lot of damage. In fact,
which one did they add?
so that was 22 points of damage. So you notice that they are weakly trying to stay in
was
the
it just
air.
those that were on by him, or did
So it was.
you said it attacked all?
Yes, it was everything in the area.
Okay, so the one that was near me, that was nearly dead, is that one gone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one that he had already hit. Hadn't he already hit something?
So he destroyed this.
Okay.
So you're not quite done with that one yet. You still
you
need to. You need to do him 10 more points of damage. He wasn't affected by that.
Okay.
That was going off in the area of Cricket. Cricket was the
you
center of
that.
Clarify. Oh, I'm sorry.
Because you said all in the area.
Oh, I apologize. I should have said all within the area of Cricket, because he was the target effect.
Okay.
So that's what's going on with that.
Okay.
Now, and then on to the last problem.
The girl. Okay, well, that and the toe guy.
So all of a sudden you see the little creature run up, and he jumps on Cricket. Just like the other ones were doing. Nice. Oh, that's right. It won't affect him that way. Concrete shoes upstairs, motherfuckers. Lush golems upstairs. So you see that little creature made of the waste basically sit there, attack him, and start fighting. And then the last one that is going to throw in on it. So that's nice. So that's 10. So she runs out. She starts over the table, jumps, runs into the middle of the room, and looks at Jenna and goes, "Will you play with me?" And it is back to your turn.
I'm going to finish off in this guy by me.
Okay. So give me that d20 roll.
Score 20.
So that's a natural 20?
Yes.
So Unfortunately, where that's where the undead rule comes in. They're not subject to critical hits, but however, that is a successful hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said
You said a D10
Razors does a D10 plus half your base attack bonus, so which adds a +2.
$2, 9, and then whatever he's looking. You said he had that Wookiee thing too.
So, yeah, that's with the Wookiee thing. Okay, so that's the damage. Okay, so it still has a few hit points left. It is over to Cricket's turn. Yeah, they're tough little bastards. So he is going to continue trying to fight his opponents that he has dealing with.
And he's spin around in a circle with a club like I do.
Rips the little thing made of the waste off of him, and he crushes it with his hands and destroys it, turning it into like a little pile of like fingernails and toes and just like weird amalgam of body parts and like hair, so it disappears, which leaves his 3 little friends. And then let's see, that's Cricket's turn. Jenna what is a good action for Jenna? She's
got that little kid focused on her.
Yeah, and she has her staff that she has on her.
Or does she want to like finish off this little guy?
She'll look at you and then look at the creature, and she'll take the staff, and you notice it has a spear on the end, and she'll try to stab it and get rid of it very quickly so the 2 of you can focus on the creature. So she stabs it and does it a 4 points of damage and kills it.
Alright.
Okay, so we're rolling over. So that was you and Jenna. Skin kites are next. Or is it the Slaymate at 21? No, the Slaymate is next at 21. And she will charge Jenna and attempt to bite her. And she does bite Jenna, in fact. Excuse me. So she will bite Jenna. Oh, excuse me, that is the wrong dice. And Jenna needs to make a 13. So Jenna is bit by this creature, and all of a sudden, like, you notice, like, she seems like she is about ready to vomit from the mere, like, bite of this creature. Like the smell of it and everything is just not right. So then it rolls over to the little things that are attacking, are still attacking Cricket. There's not very many of them left, thankfully. So they're going to do this just to move this along. Four. Okay, so he'll take a little bit more damage. He doesn't look like he's horribly damaged, but he has taken some damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to go to slice up this crazy looking kid.
Okay. So then you need to roll a 16 or better.
18. And then my D10.
Mm-hmm.
8 plus the attack of the 3 plus whatever other modifiers for the sword.
Yep, don't worry about it. I got you covered. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay. So Cricket is still focused on his targets that are attacking him, and he can't do anything else yet. So, so he will take one of those creatures that were flying, and he'll rip it off of him, and he'll rip it to pieces. And then it is Jenna's turn, and she will take the staff, and she'll try to underhand stab the little girl with it. So nice roll. And she does indeed stab the creature. And she does a nice 7 points of damage. Okay, so that rolls over into the little creatures that are attacking Cricket.
Oh, wait, so you just got rid of one of these, right?
Yep, you just got rid of one. And they will do their damage together. Okay, so Cricket is still standing, and then it goes to your turn.
Like, it up again.
Okay, so again, roll 15 or better. Or excuse me, 16 or better.
19.
Okay, so then you roll your d10.
5 plus this.
You said that was, what did you roll?
5.
Nice. So when you go to attack the little girl, because it's concentrating on biting Jenna, and Jenna has stabbed it through the stomach, you come up behind it and like you stab it through the skull and like downwards and like crush its skull, and like the spinal column basically like eats your sword blade. So it buries your weapon inside like this undead monstrosity for a few moments.
Hey man, you okay?
So there's 2 creatures left still attacking
My
him.
sword say anything?
And he goes, ugh. He goes, normally I like cartilage, but this is, ugh. This is not very tasty. Okay, so that would put Cricket next. Okay, so he'll attack one of the other ones that are on him, and he'll rip it to pieces again. Jenna doesn't have a horrible selection of spells because she's trying to save some of them. She will that's a nice attack. I think I'll do that. So she will cast her final spell goes off, and she does. I don't need to do that much damage to finish it off, but yes. And then she blows the last one to pieces with magic missile.
That?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we still have crazy thing that was.
So all of the undead monsters are now gone off the board.
Minus the chick.
She's dead.
Oh, she's dead.
You fucking murdered that bitch.
Okay.
So you are now left in the room with this debris and everything. And as I did mention, that door.
I'm gonna look at whatever was that treasury chest looking thing that she was standing on.
Okay, so when you go to look at it, it appears to be like an old chest of drawers that is full of clothes.
Anything look interesting?
Give me a d20 roll.
16?
There's a lot of rotted fabric in there, but there appears to be like a doll.
A doll?
Mm-hmm. Just like a little girl's doll. It's like made out of cloth. It's missing like an eye, and it's seen better days.
Detect magic on it?
It is not a magic item, but however, there is something in one of the piles of clutter that seems to be catching your attention.
It's not the doll the dog is holding.
Okay.
And then I go look for the pile.
So when you go to look through the pile, there's a metal like it looks like a metal pendant, but there's not a chain or anything for it.
Gemma, do you know what this is?
She goes, not at all. And she goes, I think we might want to look around. And she goes, is that door locked?
Oh, I'll go check it.
Okay.
So I'm going to wrap that thing in like some of the cloth that was found.
Okay.
That's not quite as rotted, and put it into the bag of holding.
So when you fly up next to that door, the object that you have in your pocket actually will fit that impression. And and it appears to be a key.
Oh, here we go. Oh, hey, Gemma, do you need anything to help get rid of some of those bites and stuff?
And she goes, if we lock the door, we can be able to rest here for a little while.
Locked right now, so I won't unlock it.
Okay. So from her bag, she will produce some wooden wedges, and she'll hand them to Cricket and tell him to drive them into the doors of the porticus. And that's where we'll leave you off until tomorrow night. Because they have been working at 5:30 to 1:30. So if you want to do afternoon session tomorrow, we can do that for a good while.
Well, I get off at 1:15, so yeah. Unless they let me out earlier. I'm gonna have to call T-Mobile again to use my phone on the street. Is my laptop in the closet or is it outside?
No, it's right over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we'll end you tonight.
Lily, can you bring me my laptop, please?